Audible to everyone. Yesterday, I gave for company module. Today, I'm showing the customer module from beginning. Already, we have done backend application for customer service. Okay, you can see the different types of files we wrote. Customer service, entity, repository, service, IMPL, exception, REST controller, exception handler. Okay, so here customer module, if we take it's a backend, we wrote actually entity. Let me show the entity code. So customer having ID, name, email, gender, image path, mobile, address, PAN card, Aadhaar card. Like these details are there here. Okay. Then we wrote one repository interface just to find a email customer repository. Then service interface, save a customer, get customer by ID, get customer by email, and get all customers. It's a customer service method we wrote. And service IMPL is by taking repository, get one customer, get all. We wrote actually here. And REST controller, just to create, fetching all, fetching by email. So these are the methods we wrote here. REST controller, exception, handler class we wrote. Now this is the time for front end. Okay, so application don't create again and again, only one time we create. Now look at the different types of files we have to create. Under the component, we have a company module. Navbar, it's a one time under the module and service. Look at what we have to do. Under the component, we have to generate model and service. Okay, so for a module, model class, service class, component. Component class plus HTML plus CSS. 3 we have to generate in the front end. So let me take this application path. Open the command prompt. Go to that location, project location. First ngg class. Generate a class. It's a model. So this actually name is customer, right? I'm just giving. It's a customer -- skip test. Press this command. It will generate a single class. Okay, so I forgot to mention this model package, so I'm just deleting again. Actually, it has to come here. It is generated here. You can click drag and drop also, but again, I'm just deleting this. Okay, small modification, models. It's something like entity class at front end. Models nothing but entity type scripts at front end. Press enter. So it should be generated under models folder here. It should come here. Already we have company. Now I'm generating this one. Press enter. You'll see one option created under models folder. Command number 1. Okay. So command second. So generate a service. Okay, a service should be generated under this folder. Already we have company service. I should get a customer service. NGG. Yes indicates service. Services folder. You can see the folder name services. Just give customer. Hyphen skip test to avoid the test case of JavaScript. It will generate one file again. Only one TypeScript file will be generated. It is something like your Java file. How you have Java file in the backend, something TypeScript is actually a final JavaScript file at front end. Second command is to generate a service. Third command, generate a component. Okay, ENG G C indicates component. Folder name is components. If it is not there, this folder will be created. Okay, already we have two components. One is navbar, fixed static component, menu bar. Second one is a company. Okay, second one is a company. So there, components, customer. Pressing enter, 3 files will be generated and 1 file will be updated. 3 files will be generated. One is HTML, second one TypeScript, third one CSS, and 1 file will be updated, app.module.ts. Registering this module, customer module. Okay, so this module will be registered here. So here you can see declarations. You can see customer component declaration is done here. Okay, so this is a command number 3. Okay, so first generating the files done. Second, step number 4. Okay, define. Okay, there's actually properties inside model class based on backend entity class. Now if you observe, so here we have a customer class and this is backend code. Now if we just observe, so here Control P is a shortcut if you want to open any file in Visual Studio. Control P, it's a customer. Okay, under models folder, click on this one. There you have to write a word called constructor. Okay, you need not to write a separate variable here and you need not to do this keyword. Generally we write something like ID, it's a number. Okay, so again we have to write here ID, this dot ID is equals to ID. Okay, again writing ID number. Okay, this much not required. You need not to declare a variable inside and here this. Directly write public. Over. Fine. So if you write like here, that internal generates instance variable and this keyword. So you can directly write your just variable by writing constructor. Okay, so here is a ID. Let me write remaining. It's a number, long data type. Next one. It's a public name string, comma. Public email string. Public gender string. Public image path string. Mobile number we can take big decimal or long also, but I'll add something like country code +91. Okay, so that's why I taken a string here. Public mobile, it's a string. So address It's a PAN card ID. Other ID. So these are the details given. How you have entity in the backend, in the front. Name should be matching. Second, this is done here. Define properties inside the model class. Okay, so once you're done here, then we have to write the code in the service. Okay, step number 5, define methods at service to make call to backend REST controller. Okay, now if you look at in the backend, we have REST controller. Control Shift R, star REST controller, customer REST controller. We have to write a method for saving. We have to write a method to fetch all. We have to write a method to find by email. Okay, these are the methods we are writing here. So in the front end, we have like this. Back end, we have like this. Okay, I'm just pressing Control P here. Customer.service. Press enter. Step number 1, you define the URL. Okay, that is actually customer URL. URI. Okay, so that we have to declare one import. That's actually environment. We used to take here from src folder. We have environment, or else you can take something like dot dot slash and dot dot slash. Okay, now I'm just taking that environment backticks environment dot base URI. You look at the base URI up to 80. It's a base URI. Then slash the class level path. It's a customer. You can see. Step number 1. Define customer controller URL. Now we need to add slash create and all. Before to that, we should do dependency injection for HTTP. HTTP client. If you want to compare HTTP client, this is something like a REST template. You have REST template in Java, right? This is in Angular. It will make HTTP calls to backend. Okay, this is actually called dependency injection for HTTP. Next, we are writing the methods. First, I'll try to fetch all the records. HTTP calls for backend. Okay, just I'm writing a method name. Of course, you can write same method name or different method name. So I'll follow naming convention. Get all customers. Of course, you write any method name, but URL you should know. What is the URL? All. Okay, just we have tried. If you want to access any instance variable, this must. This dot HTTP dot get. Okay, backticks. It's not apostrophe, it's a backticks. There we have to write. It's a customer URI slash all. So it has to return a JSON array of customer. So I'm just writing, it's an observable of customer array. We should add a return keyword. That's fine. to fetch all the records. So this one will make the call to backend application all, that will go to service and get the JSON data. It's a box of customer 1, comma, customer 2, like JSON objects. It's a list of JSON objects, list of customers. The same thing we are storing in the customer array by casting to customer type. Okay, so here, so we can write multiple methods later. I'll write same method separately and find separately here. We'll go with requirements one by one. So this is service class I wrote. Look at, I did not touch any above things here. Imports came by default. I just added explicitly this import and created a specific customer URI, dependency injection, and calling the method. In real time, if you're only working at front end, you are working only at front end, you know back end and front end, okay, you are a full stack developer, fine. If they are not giving this one, back end, okay, so if you're front end developer, then this team will share Swagger UI. In the Swagger UI, you can find all the details, URL, input and output, everything you can find it. Okay, I have shown even Swagger UI also once. Okay, now remaining will be continued front end service. I'm sharing complete service here. We have tried only this code. Okay, above, if you want for reference, I'm just giving. Now it's a component TS class, TypeScript class. So first we have done customer entity. Okay, you can choose format document, Alt Shift F. Okay, next I wrote a service, Alt Shift F. Sorry. Okay, service class. Then I have generated a component here, customer. Look at first TypeScript, then HTML. Open the TypeScript. Here we'll get array to store the data here. It's a customers. It's a customer array. Initialize with empty. Okay, first to store data. Then second, do dependency injection with service. Customer service. This actually dependency injection. As I mentioned yesterday, we'll be having completely constructed dependency injection. Write a method to fetch the data. Get all customers. Okay, there take the help of service dot get all customers and call a method called subscribe. This dot service. Subscribes takes a parameter of JSON where it takes two things. One is on successful receiving data. What should be done here? The data will be filled back to customers. On error, it's an error. On receiving error, what to do? Just I'm printing temporarily. Printed error. Okay. Now, whenever you enter the URL, I just want to load this component. On loading this component, you want to do any task, then we use ng init. This is something like lifecycle method, init method. Okay, whenever this component is loaded, call this method. This dot. Okay. On loading component. Okay, so this method will be called, it will make database call. You may get doubts, sir, when this component will be loaded. Okay, that we have to configure routing. Okay, so step number 2, I have done this. At last I'll show routing. First create the variable, store the data, dependency injection, on loading the component, get all the customers, It will make service call. Subscribe will take a JSON object. Latest syntax here. Next indicates successful. Error indicates failure. Actually, we have tried one console message also, UI message also. Okay, problem from backend, are unable to fill the data. Finally, at HTML, okay, you can take the reference of company. I just want this kind of structure, a table structure. But for you, I'm just writing. Okay, so here, first I'm writing a div. This is class equal to card, bootstrap card, div, class equals to card hyphen header, bg hyphen, I think it's a primary color. There I'm writing heading 3, customers details. This is company details. This is customer details. Now I'll write a div. Class is equals to card body. There I'll create one table. Table heading, table body. In the table heading, I'm just creating a row with a th. Okay, so I'll be creating all the customer details. ID, name, email, gender. ID, name, email. Of course, need not to print all. Gender, image path. Or we can display image when you click on view customer. Okay, mobile, address, PAN and Aadhaar. Okay, I'm just printing up to this. The remaining will be button. Okay, view complete details. Of course, even image path also. Okay, there will create a row. These rows we are going to use ng for loop. Let's create a local variable customer of customers. This name should be object name from the TypeScript. So it will be repeated. So here I'm writing TD, that will print the data C dot 1 2 3 4 5 6. So these names will be ID, name, email, gender, mobile, address. HTML directly can access this TypeScript. What is available in TypeScript that is actually connected to this HTML. No separate imports, nothing required here. Okay. At last, I'm just adding one extra th, something called operations. So there, I'll be taking a TD. So it's a button, view. Okay, something like edit. For this, I'm writing some colorings and this code. This is table. So all the customer data will be printed here. So I wrote TypeScript that is actually filling the data here, and HTML that is converted to an HTML table format. Finally, in the routing, app routing module TS will be there. So I have to mention here, whenever you enter a URL that is customer or customers, go to customer component. Customer component. If you enter this URL, call this component. This component will create this variable and make the service call. Service will go to backend and fill the data, and that will go back to this HTML file. This HTML converted to table format. Routing module. And now go to navigation bar. In the navigation bar, we have added a company, right? In the same way, add customer. Router link should be same as app routing path. Router link should be same as app routing path. Component should be same as component class name, and that is fetching the data and giving the data to the component.html that is converted to table format. Actually, for here we have to create a register page also. Another component will come, customer register. Now we'll try to run this application and see. After running, I'll give TS component HTML routing navbar component. Okay, so you remember the execution order, right? First in the backend application. First Eureka server, Spring Boot application, config server, admin server, go to browser and check localhost 8761, localhost 8888 / actuator, localhost 9999. If 3 started, now of course company service also you can run, customer service also you can run, gateway server also you can run. Go and do refresh. Here you should see company and customer. And gateway. 3 services running. We'll create multi instances later. Okay. Now once you run this, Eureka, config server, admin server, company service, customer service, gateway server. Now go to Postman, or you can create Swagger, take a new tab, http://localhost 80. It's a gateway port number. Don't take customer service port number. Customer service is running on 9861. Please don't take this. Okay, we should always make request through gateway server. In the future, we'll be having multi-instance for this. So another application will run on another port number. Okay, then you take customer controller /customer /create body raw JSON. ID will be generated, name, Ajay Raj, email. Gender. Image path. Actually, image path will be after uploading you will get. For example, we write actually some UI code there to upload. Let this be. You can cross check uploaded or not. Perfect. It's an image path. Lot of free services are there. Mobile number. Plus 91. Address. PAN card. Aadhaar ID. Like this, I give data. So if you click on insert, click on send button, customer one created. Go and cross check in the database, SMADB, tables, cust tab. Okay, everything inserted, perfect. So this is a postman call you can do. Okay, I'm unable to show all the fields, I'll give as a note. It's a customer creation test. Of course, we write some register page. Okay. So after running all this application, make the request using Postman. Now run the front end application. Go to this location, SMAUI, and write ng serve hyphen open. Press enter. Don't open the browser. By default, it will open and enter the URL. Okay, click on customer. Data came, but why like this? Perfect. Okay, so this one I did. I'll give this code, but you please don't copy paste. Try to write on your own. By looking that also fine. You open the code, look at the code and write it. Customer TS. Customer HTML. Routing. Under app routing module, this one should be added. Yesterday also I gave navbar component. In the navbar.html, add this link, li. This is just link, or else you have to enter manually. Router link should match with path. When you click on this link, it will call router link. Don't use anchor tag. Sorry, don't use action. That action will reload the component, reload the entire page. Okay, take router link only. That should call path, and it will load the component. Component will call service. Service will call backend REST controller. That will call our backend service. That will call repository. Repository will go to database. It will fetch the data, give it back, convert it to JSON. JSON converted to observable object. Observable given back to component as array representation. This is sent to template file. Template converted to HTML. Don't worry, this flow I'll explain tomorrow. It's a very big flow. I think I copied wrong one. Customer, cost check, customer, customer service. Okay. Already I shared backend code. If you want, again I'll share it. Not an issue. I'll show individual flow and complete execution flow tomorrow. Try to work on this one. Run backend application, sorry, front-end application. ng serve -- open. Click on customer link. That's a task. Backend code also you want. Already I shared. Okay. Entity repository. Yesterday I shared, please check it. Service exception service IMPL REST controller handler class properties. Okay, yesterday I have shared. Okay, try to implement. If you have done this, I'm just giving additional work also. If you are done with this, okay, I'm just creating a simple thing. Do it everything for stock. ID, code. Okay, that's actually type. Only 3 inputs you take it. Try to write backend. entity, exception, handler, service, repository, controller, service, interface, front end, component, Navgar configuration, model, service, routing configuration. Okay, so at runtime, router outlet will be loaded in the container. So try to do that. So up to yesterday's code, I have shared in the classroom drive. Up to yesterday's code. Today it's a new one I'm sharing. After one more module completed, again I'll share up to yesterday's code. Today only one small module, right? Again, I'm not uploading. Okay. So today notes and images I'll share. It's a task. Try to do that. You got the output, then take a screenshot of this one. Final screenshot. Okay, like final screenshot, send to my email. Okay, so this is what expected. Looks very simple, but very complicated. Try this. Okay, tomorrow I'll explain the complete flow, how backend and frontend are integrated and connected with each and every class. Okay, then we write even register and validation for customer. Customer register, customer validation we write. Okay, then we write stock module with MQs integration, message queues. Thank you for session. Every day class will be started at 8:15 and will be conducted up to 9:15 or up to the concept. Okay, everyday session will be conducted from today onwards. Don't ignore, don't skip. Thank you.